Good evening and welcome to World News. I am Jessica Magaji Joseph. First, the headlines. Federal government invites unions as strike grounds universities. New Zealand accelerates registration for overseas doctors to address shortage. Thousands of police officers and civil guards begin protest in Spain. And on sport, Rodri wins Ballon d'Or in first history for Manchester City. And now the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu officially launched Nigeria's 2025 Armed Forces Remembrance Emblem at the Aso Rock Villa in Abuja, emphasizing his administration's dedication to the welfare of military personnel. He acknowledged the armed forces as the federal government's first line of defense and reiterated the importance of honoring those who have made the ultimate sacrifice while serving the nation. Tinubu underscored the critical link between security and Nigeria's economic future, promising ongoing resource allocation to tackle security challenges. During the ceremony, significant donations were made to support the armed forces. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation pledged 500 million naira, while the National Assembly, represented by Senate President Godswill Akpabio, contributed 200 million naira. Additionally, top security officials, including the Chief of Defense Staff and the Inspector General of Police, collectively committed 50 million naira on behalf of the military and police, showcasing a united front in support of Nigerian security forces. Federal universities in Nigeria have been shut down as the Joint Action Committee of the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions and the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities initiated an indefinite strike. This action follows the expiration of an ultimatum for the federal government to address 4 months of withheld salaries. The unions are demanding not only the payment of these salaries, but also improved remuneration and the implementation of agreements made in 2009. In response to the strike, the Federal Ministry of Education reached out to the union leaders for a meeting, though no official communication has been confirmed. Initial reports from various universities indicate a significant level of compliance with the strike directive, with many institutions experiencing disruptions in their operations. The leadership of the unions emphasized their discontent with the government's handling of salary payment and called for prompt action to resolve these issues. Meanwhile, the National Association of Nigerian Students expressed concern over the impact of the strike on student academic progress, urging both the government and the unions to find a constructive resolution. The Ogun State High Court in Abuja has dismissed a request from 16 political parties to indefinitely postpone the upcoming local government elections. The ruling, delivered by Justice T.A. Okusoka, stated that the Ogun State Independent Electoral Commission is not required to consult political parties before setting elections date, and the parties' concerns about a simultaneous election in Ondo State were not valid grounds for postponement. Consequently, the court upheld the election date of November 16, 2024, reinforcing OGSIAC's authority in the electoral process. Justice Okusoka emphasized that the Commission acted within its constitutional right in scheduling the elections. When we return, news from other parts of Africa. Please stay with us.
This is Hillstv. Quality broadcasting is what we'll bring to you. Now we be this
Thanks for staying with us. The National Democratic Congress flag bearer, John Mahama, has leveled accusations against the New Patriotic Party for engaging in vote buying as the 2024 general elections approach. He claims that NPP members have been distributing 1-liter bottles of cooking oil to market women in various communities, a move he suggests is an attempt to sway voters. Mahama contends that this practice is a reflection of the government's failure to address the economic challenges facing many Ghanaians, pushing them into poverty. He believes that such tactics undermine the electoral process and exploit the vulnerabilities of citizens. 4 people have tragically lost their lives due to severe storms that swept through Mpumalanga in South Africa. The heavy rainfall and strong winds caused widespread destruction, particularly in the Nkomazi and Mbomila areas, where roofs of homes and schools were ripped off and walls collapsed. The storms have disrupted daily life, leaving many residents in precarious situations as they grapple with the aftermath. Provincial authorities are currently assessing the extent of the damage, while urging communities to remain vigilant and take necessary precautions as more rains are forecasted. Emergency services are on high alert to provide assistance, and residents are encouraged to stay informed about weather updates and heat safety warnings. We move to other parts of the world after this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. The New Zealand government is taking significant steps to address its long-term doctor shortage by fast-tracking the registration process for overseas doctors. Health Minister Shane Retty announced that this initiative aims to expedite the integration of internationally qualified specialists into the healthcare system while the country works to develop its own homegrown medical workforce. The expedited pathway will particularly benefit specialists in fields such as anesthesia, dermatology, emergency medicine, general practice, internal medicine, pathology, and psychiatry. Starting November 1st, medical graduates from the UK, Ireland, and Australia will see their registration applications processed within 20 working days, a considerable reduction from the previous time frame of up to 6 months. The Israeli Knesset has passed legislation banning the operations of the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, which provides crucial humanitarian aid to Palestinian refugees. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reiterated his accusations that UNRWA employees are linked to terrorist activities, despite a recent investigation by the UN Office of Internal Oversight Services that dismisses many allegations as unfounded. However, the agency acknowledged that 9 employees may have been involved in the October 7 attacks on Israel, stating their contract would be terminated if evidence is substantiated. Netanyahu's office has emphasized the need for accountability among UNRWA personnel, while pledging to facilitate humanitarian aid to Gaza in coordination with international partners. The decision has drawn widespread criticism, including from UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, who warned that banning UNRWA could have devastating consequences for the people in Gaza and the West Bank. Guterres highlighted the agency's irreplaceable role in providing education and medical care, urging Israel to reconsider the legislation. Over 30 unions and associations representing various police forces in Spain are mobilizing against the repeal of the citizen security law, calling it abuse and a direct attack on law enforcement personnel. The coalition, known as the Platform to Citizen Insecurity, who hold a protest outside Congress, are certain that the repeal, agreed upon by Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez's government and EH will diminish public safety and strip police of essential tools needed to ensure citizen security. They argue that this move occurs amid a troubling context of demoralized security personnel and rising violence, which has led to increased attacks on police officers and perceived erosion of their authority. Up next is business news. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. And now on business news. Ghana is exploring the possibility of purchasing petroleum products from Nigeria's Dangote Petroleum Refinery once it reaches full operational capacity, potentially saving the country from costly imports from Europe, which currently amount to $400 million per month. Mustafa Abdulhamid, chairman of the National Petroleum Authority of Ghana, emphasized at the OTL Africa Downstream Oil Conference in Lagos that importing from Nigeria would not only be more convenient, but could also lower fuel prices for Ghanaians. The $20 billion Dangote refinery, which began releasing premium motor spirits on September 15, 2024, is expected to operate near full capacity by the end of the year, with full operations projected for the first quarter of 2025. A transition to sourcing fuel from the Dangote refinery is anticipated to significantly impact Ghana's economy, particularly as it aims to reduce dependency on higher-cost imports from Europe. Deputy Finance Minister David Masondo emphasized that the upcoming medium-term budget will prioritize infrastructure investment to foster economic growth and attract private capital into South Africa's transmission infrastructure. Speaking at the SA Tomorrow Investor Conference in New York, Masondo highlighted the Treasury's effort to finalize a credit guarantee scheme aimed at facilitating private investment. He reassured investors that this budget would not hinder growth, but instead focus on enhancing the country's investment landscape. While Masondo refrained from revealing specific details ahead of the budget announcement on Wednesday, he reaffirmed the government's commitment to achieving a primary budget surplus and managing costs effectively. Still to come is sport news. Please stay with us.
This is Hillstv. Quality broadcasting is what we'll bring to you. Now we be this
Welcome back. And now on sports news. In a historic night in Paris, Manchester City's Rodri Hernandez became the first player from the club to win the prestigious Ballon d'Or, marking a significant milestone in his career in Spanish football. The 28-year-old midfielder's recognition came after a remarkable season where he played a pivotal role in leading Spain to victory in Euro 2024 and helping Manchester City secure multiple titles, including the UEFA Super Cup and the Club World Cup. Despite an ACL injury that left him on crutches during the ceremony, Rodrigo dedicated his award to legendary Spanish midfielders like Andres Iniesta and Xavi Hernandez, emphasizing the collective triumph of Spanish football. Sporting Lisbon manager Ruben Amorim is poised to become the next manager of Manchester United following the dismissal of Erik ten Hag on Monday. United has swiftly initiated discussions with the 39-year-old, indicating their readiness to activate the €10 million release clause in his current contract. Amorim has expressed interest in the role, prompting the club to negotiate with Sporting Lisbon for his release. Lamine Yamal has solidified his status as one of football's brightest prospects by winning the 2024 Copa Trophy, awarded to the best player under 21. The 17-year-old played a pivotal role in Spain's success at Euro 2024, contributing significantly to their championship victory. The Ballon d'Or organizer celebrated his achievements on social media, highlighting his unstoppable rise in the sport. And that's the sport news on World News. We move to the rest of the news after the break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. And now to the rest of the news. The Gaza Health Ministry has reported that 77 people are either dead or missing following an Israeli airstrike that targeted a 5-story building in Beit Lahia. Bodies recovered and laid out on the ground or placed in carts. The building was reportedly sheltering displaced families, excavating the tragedy. Reports stated that many of the victims included women and children, highlighting the heavy toll of the continued violence in the region. And that's world news. But before we go, here are the headlines again. We told you the federal government invites unions as strike grounds universities. New Zealand accelerates registration for overseas doctors to address shortage. Thousands of police officers and civil guards begin